This is how to make world-class cocktails at home. The first and most obvious is fresh citrus. You should be squeezing your citrus fresh. Those little bottles that you get at the store of lime juice have a weird aftertaste to them. They have chemicals added to them to keep them fresh, and it just tastes completely different than fresh. Now, fresh juices are also important. I try to use as much fresh juice as I can. I don't have a juicer, so for things like pineapples, I'll either juice it or I'll use 100% pineapple juice, but fresh is always better. Now, especially for simple syrup, you should be making it at home. Simple syrup is just 1 part sugar, 1 part water. It's much cheaper to make it at home. I usually use a cane sugar because it has more body and more flavor to it, and it's going to add a little bit of texture to your cocktail. But for pre-bottled syrups, the only ones I trust in a pinch when I don't feel like making a grenadine or a more complicated syrup is Liber & Company. They do a fantastic job. The biggest thing people skimp on is spirits. They think just because I'm mixing a cocktail, I can go out and buy the shittiest spirit possible because I'm mixing it with a bunch of citrus and fruit anyway. The spirit is what brings a lot of that underlying flavor. It doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot of money, but you do have to do a little bit of research. So for tequila, I like La Gritona. It's under $40 and it's a really good tequila. For a bourbon, there's tons of options that are under $50. One of my favorite is Larceny. It's under $30 and will be a great mixing bourbon for a lot of different things. Measure your ingredients. Now, free pouring looks cool, but a lot of recipes, if you get the ingredients off by 1/8 of an ounce, it can completely change the flavor and it might change it to something you find disgusting. What I use is normally clear ice, and the reason why I use clear ice is all the impurities are pushed out of it, so you're gonna get a cleaner taste from the dilution. Also, it melts slower. You can also use molds, but what I would do is use higher quality spring water because 20% of your cocktail is dilution. So if your water tastes like shit, your cocktail is going to taste like shit. Now, shaking, this is one of the most important. So most cocktails, you should be shaking between 8 to 12 seconds. Now, stirring's usually around 30 to 40 seconds. You want to load up your ice and stir. You'll start to see the sides of the glass start to chill and the ice start to melt down, and you can even give it a little taste with your bar spoon or on your hand if you're serving it to somebody else, and that's going to tell you whether it's sharp or it needs a little bit more stirring to properly dilute and round out all those flavors. With these tips, you'll make better cocktails than 95% of bars and restaurants, and you'll be on your way to become a premier cocktail snob.